How are you? Oh, I've left something off. What have I left? This is like much quieter than it normally is, and I'm wondering what's going on. Hang on, hang on. I might know what's going on. I know what's going on. I was silly. I'm like, why is the music so quiet when it's on its normal settings? Because I've turned actual Spotify down because I'm a tit. Right, sorry. As I was. How are you? Just making sure all my windows are open. I'm pretty sure I've attempted to look up at the shout out thing to see why it's not working properly. A few people are having an issue. So I've tried to reset it and whatnot as advised. And I don't know if it's going to work. I did test it and it did work. But it only worked 1 out of like 4 tries. So we shall see. However, let's go. Oh, these are me blue lights, me granny glasses. Make sure I don't get a headache while we game. If I ever do need glasses, though, I'm putting them in these massive granny frames because I love them. Right. Don't need to restart a checkpoint. I probably need to try and remember where the fuck we are, though. Right, blue man. Health. Oh, yeah, I turned the game right down. Hi, Sirius. How are you? And hello, Ollie. How are you as well? Safety first. They suit you. Thank you very much. My goodness, everybody's here. Like I say, the clip probably isn't going to work. Yeah, I figured. It was worth a try. Okay, that's flies. Right. Ooh, there's another health for that. I didn't see how much health I actually have. Ooh, how's that going? Have you caught any, like, rare bugs? Bugs? Fish. Sorry, it's because of the flies. Right, I do believe... Is it down? Nope. That one. And then... Nope. That one. My brother swears by this game. I mean, it's pretty good. It's probably better if you know what you're doing. But it's pretty good. It's been like a good couple of weeks though, so I need to get used to the buttons again. I know I say this every time, and every time it is true, in my defense. Where am I meant to go?
Thank you, Brock. It is a good spear.
Damn straight it is.
Well, I don't want to buy anything back. And nothing I have on's upgradable. It's saying I've got something new though. Oh. I don't want to buy them back. How you all doing?
I see how you'll be.
Have you had a good Sunday?
Up here. Best I find my own way back. Been too auspicious a day to end it working and working.
Oh, is that the way down?
Fucking is now.
And I'll get those gates working for you.
I only hope Sindri's in one piece by the time Brock's done with him. The ice beneath those two is thin enough under the best of circumstances.
Yes, have you caught any fish? Are you in the middle of catching a fish?
Where is everyone?
can get attacked, aren't I?
Now a good time. I just want to talk. Dad to dad. Speaking of which, imagine my surprise when Atreus came knocking at my door. He's doing well, by the way, and will continue to do so just as long
Think you might be.
I return to Asgard sometime soon. Besides, our friend
Oh,
here
okay.
has a whole
Was
lot
it tricky
live
to
for.
get?
Arguable.
Run along now, but behave yourself. New spear.
Hello
Not
there.
cared for Brock.
Hello.
Can't deny it,
Crystal,
but
hello, how are you?
You came to speak. Speak.
How was your stream? I was
You really
lurking
want
briefly.
more? Do you, Kratos? All that blood on your hands?
Oh no,
on
Monster
your
Hunter
son's
fishing.
hands? I want peace as
Good,
much as
I
you
am not
do.
too bad, thank you very much.
Perhaps we can find it together.
He's lying.
I know.
That boy of ours
Of ours,
is
oh.
everything I expected. So clever, kind. You sure he's yours? A kid. You really ought to be very proud. He is the key to peace in our age, to break free from all this fate and prophecy.
My son is not your key.
Oh God, do they not have metaphor in your homeland?
Found a weapon you
Or
want to
rather,
craft. Ooh,
did
what
they?
weapon would that be?
I'm sorry, that's
What
not-
what
I know
hunter
you're not
rank
the
do you
god
think I
you
am?
once were.
I'm going to
Now
say
is your chance to prove it.
22.
Return my son, or you may meet the
No.
god I once was.
Ooh. Keep your son.
And what kind of god
I would like to see this god.
is that? Kratos? What do you even know of godhood? In your lifetimes, has anyone ever
Have you
worshipped
slept?
you?
Or have you just been on
Ever
the game?
prayed to you? Can you even imagine that kind of love? No! You don't care about mortals. You don't care about anything beyond yourself. Beyond the monster who kills without cause. You fear what you can never even hope to understand. Is it any wonder
I've slept a little.
that your boy
A purple
is in
bowgun with
no
a jade
rush to
amulet.
come back to you?
Ooh. I'll have to look it up later.
Don't listen to him, brother. He's just trying to get in your head.
I think it's working.
Superior bastard. The nerve of him showing up here. At least you rattled him as much as he rattled you.
You tell him. The ass speaks wisely. Are you level 42? I'll double it. Well, I'll nearly double it. Jesus! I thought you said you slept. Did you sleep with your eyes open holding the controller? Wait, where am I going? Down here. Yeah, in Wilds. It does look quite cool, though. It does look quite cool. Room service.
Good timing.
I need to stop saying
Let's
that.
see what Brock made you.
See, you know what I said about dodging?
Shield strike.
What are the buttons again? Stab. Well, I at least got that one.
Enemies to your left.
Woman, there are enemies everywhere. And I can't remember how to dodge. I can't remember anything.
Very nice.
Right, one down. Haha, dodge. Casually ripping people in half. Right? Jesus. I don't normally use this weapon though. I normally use this one. You cheeky bastard, I was mid-swing.
So that's the weapon?
Got my full
drop
rarity
near
8
spear?
armor
The
today.
drop
Ooh.
near spear.
Well,
What are you
any
doing?
given number of drop near spears, I suppose.
Is
Come
this
on,
the
I
second one?
found a
This is the
gate.
newest
We
one,
just
yeah.
need to take the train down.
I do worry, though, if I'm
I don't
being
think
frank.
they're remakes.
We've crafted a weapon to kill a god.
I mean, they get
One
called
could
remakes.
say you're on the verge of returning to form.
Does it scare you? Hating another violent god.
I'm scared for you, brother. That spear could start a war. The war. If that no
It
longer
is
concerns
pretty
you, then
good.
maybe Freya's right.
Like,
Maybe the giants had you in mind all along.
it is pretty good. I just can't remember the buttons because it's been a good couple of weeks since I've been on it. I'll get there. Not that I get much better once I remember the buttons. I just look slightly less confused. Have you been playing more? I did play a little bit of it after stream. I made a new character, so I'm not playing the one that I stream with. I haven't got much further, though. I was going to play a bit of it today. Nope, that didn't work. But I didn't get round to it yet. I might play it after this stream, though. Hopefully. I made the new character so I wouldn't end up going further ahead in the story from the one I've got on stream. So that so when we stream it, we all follow, like, we're up to the same part in the story and stuff like that, so nobody misses out. Obviously, I know people are going to watch it elsewhere, but so nobody misses out on this stream. And so all the VODs are in order and stuff like that. Oh, need to sneeze. Gesundheit. If you see my new character now, you'll be like, oh, fuck. Probably, yeah. I did change the voice on the character, though, that I've made for stream because I got carried away and didn't notice that bit. And our voice was very much like the old handler, and that annoyed the poop out of us. So you have an on-stream and an off-stream character? Yeah. My off-stream character is a beautiful man. And my on-stream character is that ridiculously pretty woman. No, I need to get used to the spear. Climb. So has everyone had a nice relaxing Sunday?
So this drop near spear. You're prepared to use it?
To protect Atreus. I am no one's champion but his, nor no one's god. That may be my form. It is not
Makes
my
me
nature.
dread from under. Oh, bless you, Belle.
Do you understand?
I guess a difference of opinion is hardly the most I'm setting aside for this alliance. As long as the plan is to kill Heimdall, the rest matters little.
There's also the bit of news that Odin has some inkling of what we're up to.
I thought I heard ravens. Damn it. What did he say?
Lies, threats, and more lies. What did you expect?
You think he lies that Atreus is in Asgard?
No. On that, I'm afraid I believe him.
Then the rest matters little.
Exactly.
I saw a gateway near here, overlooking the bay. We can get to it with your spear, I think. This way.
That was some nice kiwi. I don't know what that dog's up to. What are you doing? You've had a treat, right? You've literally just had it before I started stream. Get up here. Sorry. Up. Come on, now. Lie down. No, you're not getting on the chair. Lie down, please. Lie. No. Right, I'm going to ignore you being a pain in the bum. Okay, so.
Another berserker gravestone. You know what to do, brother.
I die. I get my butt absolutely kicked. Get up there. Or over there, fine. Pain in the bum. Okay. Oh, little dwarven man. Aha. Yeet.
Hey, big guy.
Speak.
Need you to get something for me. A hammer.
Oh, do you?
A weapon.
No, a forge hammer. Little thing. Symbol of the old resistance. Guild, solidarity, all that. Or it used to be anyway, till the Aesir buried it under that big, gaudy dwarf statue in the bay. Might do the dwarves some good to see it again.
You're not worried that might draw the Einherjar's attention?
The old father nearly slit my throat just to get to you. I might be past giving a shit what he thinks. Just find me at the bar when you've got it.
You'll certainly be able to reach new areas in the bay with that spear.
Aye. Might be worth looking for Durlin's hammer while we're at it. Your choice, of course.
Fine. Suppose. Boop. Yeah, have a look at the map, because I don't know where we're going. What is? Yeah. Oh, that's the main village. Spirit of Rebellion, okay.
Ah, with the mining rigs disabled, it seems a bit fresher out here.
Not seems. Is.
Aye,
Is.
you're right. Thanks, brother. If memory serves, we're heading in the right direction to find that large dwarven statue. Durlin's hammer shouldn't be far
It's like
behind.
up there, I think.
What manner of creature is that?
Dead.
He's so subtle. I mean, yes, it's dead. But a dead what? Ooh. Does she have the right arrows on? She does. I meant to do that. Oh, actually, I think I did mean to do that. Oh, yeah. Nope. No. No. Where the flippin' hat? There it is. Is there another one somewhere? Do 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 do. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Up we go. Haha. Alley-oop.
Is someone there? Please. I need help.
Hello.
What do you want?
Well, to put it simply, treasure. The cache just over there, to be precise.
Even when dead.
My son and I, we came to these isles to uncover its riches. I feared it was too dangerous, so I came alone, and was, well, seemingly proven right.
Is that why you haven't moved on?
My son, I suspect he went in search of the second half of the treasure. Please find him and tell me his fate. If you require a reward,
did.
you may help yourself to the treasure. It doesn't matter to me anymore. We were sailors.
I don't feel like that's
once.
a proper reward because I could get it anyway.
Left Midgard to seek our fortunes elsewhere.
You know
We
what
were
I mean?
so close to succeeding. My boy, I'm so sorry.
Aha.
The remains are old. His son is surely gone by now.
It costs us little to make sure.
Really?
Oh no. Okay. Yep. Oh my goodness. No, I'm not alright. Not at all. Right. Oh no! Haha! Woman, if you do not fight these things, I'm gonna get very annoyed. If I don't fight these things, I'm gonna get very annoyed. God damn. This is what happens when I don't practice and learn the buttons properly. I just die.
Behind you! Look out!
Fuck. At least when we reload, I know that's coming. I suppose. It does annoy the shit out of us though, how they go behind you and look out. Do they do anything about it? No, they just stand there and let it attack you. The fuck?
Nasty hit! You alright, brother?
No. No, I'm not. Fireball! Quack, quack. Woo! No! Reload! There was a health down here. Let me tell you something. Damn. That, it's dead. I think it's dead.
It's beautiful from up here.
Lady, we just ripped the front off a goddamn werewolf and you're like, oh, look at the view. Jesus. There will be an ad in 1 minute, just so you know. Oh, I've run out of apple slices. Sad times. Sad times indeed. No victory apple slice for me. Whee! Oh.
Another incomplete rune slate.
I keep catching myself like leaning forward, and I need to stop doing that because that really does not help, you know, with spinal damage. I'll be like a prawn.
Phew.
It's gonna drop on me, isn't it?
Durlin's hammer.
Run away, run away. No, 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 run away, run away.
Unlike Durlin's resistance, I suppose.
We will take this to him.
Oh well. I will pause during this ad, or we will not do anything, like, story-wise. Just so you know. Ooh, we have a new amulet slot. Ooh. Anything that will keep me alive. Right, the ads have just started. So let's have a look. Increases the damage of all ranged attacks and ability based on his cooldown. Cooldown's not that. Oh, well, it gives us plus 10. Okay, I'll consider that one. Increases melee damage against status afflicted enemies based on luck. Oh, that one, no, blah, blah. That one might not be too bad. Still based on luck, but gives us more defense. Completely defense, increases the stun damage. When health is above 75%, it doesn't stay that way for very long. Last second dodge empowers the next attack based on strength. Oh, okay. And it gives us a bit cooldown as well. Ooh, might go that one, but we'll keep looking. Again, based on strength, but that one gives you more runic. My washing machine just nearly took off there. Last second, no. Got that one already. I very rarely attack from above. Yeah, I think I'll leave the one that we've got on now. We look badass. What about her? Ah, right, so Aftershock, Amplified, and this one. Ooh, we can make that one stronger. So what's that attunement? The deal. Ninja Woodfire advert. Oh, a Ninja Woodfire. Is it good? Hi, G. How are you, my dear? Oh. Barbecue smoker. Oh. Do you know what? That's one thing I am looking forward to when the summer hits. Or even just when some warm weather hits. Barbecue. It's a banger. Because the sun was briefly out the other day, I could smell barbecues everywhere, and it was, oh, so good. Tired and bored, honestly. I'm sorry you're bored, my dear. I understand the tired bit, though. There's just something about Sundays that just, yeah. Welcome back from the ads, anyone that had ads. I appreciate you for sticking around. I appreciate you if you didn't. I appreciate you a little bit more if you did, though. So we can increase that one. Guaranteed that'll hurt me. First one, like everything else is greatly increased damage. That could be kind of good. Right, so let's continue. Have you managed to nap at all? Ah, there's gonna be something in there that tries to kill me. I can hear something fucking groaning. It's not him, is it? No, he's dead. That's what's groaning. Fabulous. I woke up late, so I feel like a nap would be I suppose. Woo! No. Fireball. Too far away. What the fuck? Right. Hello, Mr. Maxwell. I'll be with you in just a second. That was fucking rude. Yes, I know I'm on fire. Thank you for that. Stop telling me on my left and do something about it, you annoying cretin. Oh, look, help! We survived. Hello, Mr. Maxwell. I did cast Fireball. I woke up at 3 p.m. I mean, yeah, that's fair. But you clearly needed the sleep. So, you know. Right, where is an explodey bit? Or do I just have to use her arrows? Wrong button. That one. Nope. Well, there's normally something that you like.
We'll have to find a way through this debris.
Throw your axe off to make it go bang. No. Let me in. Ooh, maybe. No. Worth a try. Excuse me. Oh, I knew that. So what happens when they get ahead of himself?
That device may help us get through.
Ta-da! How has your... Well, excuse me,
broken
Mystic
loose behind
Kaftan.
Surtur's mouth.
I already have the
We should
best
find a
viewers.
mystic
Thank you,
gateway.
G.
Perhaps we'll find Surtur's combat challenges.
Assuming I don't already have the best goddamn viewers out there. Psh. The audacity. I appreciate you.
Stop that Nokin from singing!
Brother, that groom
Bang.
found a perch on high.
Where's the other fucking singing one? Okay.
Behind you, poison!
I can still hear one singing. Which means I can't do shit. Where are you? Am I being blind? Where is it?
Nothing good can come of this noise.
Yeah, I know, but I can't see where it is. Okay.
Poisoning your back!
That was very well timed.
Poisonous bit incoming! Knock that grim down!
I just chopped that thing in half. Yeah, Mystic Arsehole. Fucking tell him. Cheeky bitch. I have the
Between
best
the
of
creatures and all the debris, no one could have made it out of here alive.
I mean, we did. And considering it's me that's behind the control... See? I didn't even mean to do that. So I'm impressed we're still alive. Just saying. What? What the fuck? That was sheer dumb luck. Get him, Freya. Excuse me, I'm nearly dead, as it is. I'll need you to help the process along, okay? Where'd you go? Fucking leave me alone. Nope. No. I am on death's door here, bitch.
Switching!
Really, he missed. Oh! Oh! I forgot we had that. Right. Cast fireball! That's not fireball! Cast fireball! Really? It dodged, not fireball? That's just rude. Oh shit. Where'd it go? Ah. Oh, I'm dead.
Come on, Kratos, off your back!
Gotta be on my way now. She's acting like my mom says I have to go. Hope you have a good night, Zelda. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. Right. So, yeet. Oh, I missed. I thought I'd fucking dodge my fireball again. I'm like, motherfucker. Ah. Way to go, way to go, way to go, way to go, there it went. Wahoo! Didn't mean to do that and missed, so that went well. Oh no! Fuck. Didn't mean to do that. Nice. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Ah! Could you just stop? No, I can't stop. I'm gonna die again. Jesus! Lady, do something about this fucking bug thing. My goodness, I clearly can't do anything. Fireball. He jumped out the way of my fireball and then killed me.
Off your back.
He jumped out the way of my fireball and killed me. That's just rude. Got a lot closer that time though. Which means we may potentially, possibly get a little bit closer this time. No, we might win. No, stupid. Grab it. Shit. That's fireball. And then clap. Bonk. You sneaky little bastard. Woman? Kissing me or what? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I'm gonna die again. Yep, down to go. Not even at the halfway point this time. Jesus. This is not going well. Yeah, thanks. I can see that. Ow. Where is it? Why is it so hard to see? So I'd like to know. I mean, technically we did get closer that time, so I didn't completely lie. This thing is mean. Oh, yeah, it did. Not missed. Are we not? Are we just not going to give me the bomb now? Ow. Ow. Bye, Bolt. Ah, fuck you.
Grim's headed your way! Fast! The Alpha!
Where is it? There it is.
Behind you! Look out!
I know it's fucking behind us. Ooh. I wish you could turn that off because that seriously gets my goat.
The Alpha! Grim's headed your way! Fast!
Come on. Ah, it's fucking down. Dine him, dine him, dine him, dine him, dine. Don't you dare. Nope.
The Alpha!
I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. It's going. It's going. Thank God for that.
No one could have made it out.
Literally. I was like, I have the tiniest bit of health left. It has the tiniest bit of health left. If I die right now, my word. Swear words would have been spoken. Very quickly, probably unintelligibly so. Victory Slurp. 1 minute. So one problem when you have like things like this, when they've got the straws in, if you don't... Hi Nomad, how are you? If you don't angle it properly, the straw gets stuck on the bottom and makes it very difficult to actually drink. Even though I just moved it. What is your malfunction? Good, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm not doing too bad, thank you. Having a fight with a bloody juice bottle. Other than that, good. Actually killed that thing on the 3rd try. So, yay. Now, paranoid.
You did it! You did it! I
Thank
knew
you.
would! I just knew you would!
I don't wanna. I don't know where I'm meant to throw this, so I'm just gonna do that. Ready? Oh, Jesus! That was unnecessary. That was very unnecessary. I'm awake. Gosh golly.
Got him!
Another one already? Great!
Why exactly do you keep popping
I
up?
forgot they
little
were a
one?
thing.
Does your boss have you spying on us?
No, that wasn't our intention. You must believe me, I am here solely to serve as a guide, but only if you want. It's standard procedure.
Well, you can rest easy. We'll get these back to Ratatoska.
Thank you. And again, sorry if I offended you. I promise I'll be more helpful next time.
Jumpy little fella, huh?
Kind of adorable. Am I keeping you? Now, why is that there? Oh, that's why.
The tunnel must open up just ahead.
Yeah, but can I crawl? I can't crawl under this and have that thing. Do I just fucking guess? Missed. I'll try going under it, but I don't think I can. Yep, nope. Can I see?
I can see the rubble from here, brother. Feels like we're in the right place.
Yeah, okay. I get there eventually, you know. Mr. Maxwell, did I ask you how your Sunday has been? And Nomad, how has your Sunday been? It's all about the journey. I mean, thankfully, yes, it is. Granted, I could make that journey a little bit less Lord of the Rings length. You know? I could be more of a Bilbo Barons? That's because I thought of Peregrine
Quite the
Took.
sum there, brother.
A Bilbo
We will find
Baggins
the
than a
ghost son.
Peregrine Took.
Really?
But
His
evidently,
request isn't a distraction.
I am a Took.
He does not know his son's fate.
I see. Okay then.
A treasure map, you say? I was. Good. Just making sure. Right, we'll go for them later. Woo, dearie me. I've been working. So not as good. Ooh. Oh, I've already pillaged there. All aboard! And now we're going to... over here. Oh, lost treasure. Okay.
Meeting the Lady of the Forge really brought back some memories. I thought it was only in my homeland you'd see such
Oh,
things.
that's the trap
Mermaids who
thingy,
forge
isn't
weapons.
Aye. I remember very fondly a lake nymph called Nimue.
it? Oh.
Very talented with a sword.
Mimir.
I meant that literally. Shame on you. She made the best swords in all the Isles and had big dreams about what she'd do with them one day. I wonder what became of her.
They died. That's his normal answer, isn't it?
It does.
Another incomplete rune slate.
Indeed.
Now I just need to speak the word. Mecking. Success. The gate is lowering out there.
I can see that. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Respectfully. It's really sad that thing just doesn't want to escape. Melon? Panda, the gate's lowering out there. Is it? Where? Who? I don't like the look of that big blue cloud over there. Just saying. Oh, wrong setting. Just in case you didn't. I mean, I nearly missed it. I did nearly miss it. They don't make it very apparent. But thanks to Chatty Cathy.
The yellow one.
Ever helpful.
What is it? Where did it come from?
It's a very loud horn, and I've not the faintest idea.
Mimir.
No, truly. No one knows where the Gallop one originated.
Oh, is that it?
Odin just gained possession of it one day.
Brother,
what you said before about the oracles of your lands being fooled by their own prophecies, I get the sense that was coming from personal experience, aye?
Yes. Once, I sought the oracle for a means to break my bondage to Ares. One priestess had visions that showed her Olympus would be brought to ruin by the god of war. Therefore she helped me, intending to undermine Ares and protect her realm. She did not foresee that I would kill him and take his office. In the end, I proved her vision of doom correct.
So the oracle herself brought about the very future she hoped to avoid. I suppose we're in fine company at that.
Fair. Bella, get up. Stop messing about. You can't go under the table. Get up. Go on. Dun, 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 dun. Hi. Yo, woo! Will you stop saying behind you, watch out, and just do something about it, you pieces of shit? No? No, we're not gonna? Okay, fine.
Behind you, watch out!
Lady, if you shit.
Behind you! Incoming poison!
Another Berserker gravestone.
I could barely get away fighting those, and you want me to set that thing off? You insane? Jesus. Oh, I think I found his son.
Father.
Yep. I mean, they look similar.
Speak, spirit.
Is that... Father? I can't see you.
I did. Because you're
I
dead.
wasn't quick enough.
No,
I'm
you
so
were not.
sorry I abandoned you.
Your father is dead.
What? How?
He went to find the other treasure on his own, to spare you
Hi,
the
Harold.
dangers.
It
Thank you for
seems
the
that
look.
in your efforts to protect
I appreciate
one
you.
another, you each came to one of these islands on your own, and
I've been such a fool. But thank you
You're welcome.
for telling me. Perhaps now we can see each other again.
What a shame.
In their attempt to spare the other, they both perished. There is a
Shame,
lesson
ding,
there.
ding.
what now?
We will retrieve the treasure, then return to the father.
What for?
Finish what he and his son started.
That water wheel's getting no water.
Yes, well done. Right, where's this feckin' bird? So there might be the best way? I'm not gonna hit. Not the first time, I need to know where it is. I stand corrected. Woohoo!
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so
I see. The geyser under the water wheel
glad you
is
do.
locked.
oh, ding! Boom! Up, back. Whee!
Something appears to be atop that island.
Perhaps the treasure the spirit spoke of.
Itchy ear. Ooh! Oh, I'm gonna have to put my hand in there, aren't I?
We could use that lift,
I'm gonna
but
die.
not while it's up there.
Die.
Stop squirming.
At least I didn't jump that time. Getting better.
You did it, Master Kratos! A spectacular job! Keep it up and you'll become an expert in no time.
I can't tell if he was
I love those
patronizing or
squirrels.
if that was just plain sad.
Both.
Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to go over there to do this. Yes, yes, I am. No. Freeze the water for yeah, probably. Maybe. Ah, okay. Right. Oh, it's gonna be annoying.
The gate is down, but it has to stay that way.
Again, thank you, Captain Obvious. Well, this is where I probably needed to leave the... Oh, can I smash this?
There's a
Yes,
gear.
I can.
See? Connected to the gate.
I swear to God.
That'll help with the prey.
If only you could turn them off. I already know I'm stupid. I don't need your help. Right. Damn it. Can't freeze the water that way.
A few moments later.
Quiet you. I may not have saw that part on that rock. Just saying. That makes it worse, the fact that Freya's just went, very good. Good, shut up. I get there in the end. Right, listen here, you sarky bitch.
There we go.
This is why people never believe us when I say I actually am intelligent. They're like, no, you're not. I've seen it. See? Going up. Oh. Okay.
Bastard's about to explode!
Oh, shame. Uh-oh. Nope. Ta-da! Whee! There was a way down there, though. Hold, please. There was writing on that wall that indicated there was a way down. Fine, don't let me do it then. See, fuck it.
Quite the cache. I see why it meant so much to our lost treasure seekers. Perhaps we should go tell the father what became of his son.
Swing. Yeet. Where is this father? Right. I'll die.
They gather the fear.
For the king!
Jesus!
Give me more!
See?
Kratos, we need you!
Tough. My goodness. We hear that wasn't even a death. That was like... I'll get a heal stone thing first. My goodness. That was like the Hulk and Loki fucking puny god.
A net.
Excuse me.
Lungs. God, no, that's rubbish.
What?
Rock's bloody riddle. What gets bigger than what you take away? I can't let that blue twat beat me.
If you are this upset, he already has.
I know the answer to that one. I gone past where I need to be. No.
Did
Did you make the spear? Wait, no. Brock has to be the one to tell me what happened. I'm just gonna pretend I was never here. I'm here for you.
Thanks. Oh, upgradable. Upgradable.
That ought to hurt him.
Well, it ought to heal me more, which is the important part.
Anything for Freya? Does this work? Please say yes. Kratos?
It's going to tell us to buy things back. I don't want to buy things back.
What can I make for you?
Amulet. Ooh.
And for the Valkyrie Queen?
She does look like she has seen some shit. I mean, that one's not bad.
What'll it be?
Oh, one of these, please.
I'll
Right, what
disinfect
weapon?
my tools. And now, Freya?
Why is there still... I don't know where it is. Go away. Nope.
Well, if you change your mind...
Right. Map. Nope, you're not a map. So we need to go out and the next one along. Oh. Okay. Twitch is annoying. Why is Twitch annoying? What's it doing? Why is it annoying? I don't disagree. I'm just curious. Right. I liked that one. Yes. It keeps freezing on us. Oh. Okay. I've just done that. Did I get another one? Oh. Gain a burst of speed and travel an increased distance while evading. Ooh. That's better. Oh dear, oh dear. No. Where the fuck did I leave that? No, it doesn't matter.
Circling back to the topic of prophecies brought about by the efforts to avoid them, I think I can recall such a story as you mentioned, brother. A Greek tale for the stage. Rather lurid, but very popular. You know the one?
Every Greek knows the tragedy of the Theban king.
Yeah, word gets around about that sort of thing.
Have I gone the wrong... Yes. Fuck off, bird. where's the way up again? There. Oh, it just stays there. That's quite good.
Oh, you're back.
Hi. Yeah.
We have news of your son.
Oh,
He did.
please, tell me.
He died trying to find the other treasure. He didn't know you were doing the same.
No, no, no.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is my fault.
He disobeyed your wishes.
Yes, because that is what sons do.
Yep.
I should have brought him with me. We'd be alive and rich beyond all reason. Together.
Don't
Or
blame
you'd
yourself.
both be dead. Right there.
He's at peace.
Nevertheless, thank you for finding him. I'll seek him out in Helheim.
I'm glad we did this, Kratos.
Yes,
And I'm sure Atreus will be as well.
yes.
Indeed. Okay, now what? I did see that raven. Where did I see that raven? Well, I can't reach the one that's all the way over there, so obviously it wasn't that. Can we see one from here? Yeah, birdie, 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 birdie. So where's the story telling us to go? Return to Sindri when ready. Okay. So I just need to go to one of the doors then. Whee! It's gotta hurt your hands out.
Something else I recall about that Greek play I mentioned, if you won't take
Mine
offense
is working
to the
fine.
critique.
Good.
As a work of performance, it consisted almost entirely of watching people give speeches and receive terrible news. Might have been nice to see more events dramatized instead of described.
It is Greek tradition for a story to unfold in a single time and place uninterrupted. It is more clear.
If you say so.
Off we go.
Now that you have a weapon to deal with Heimdall, we just need to find a way to get to him.
Aye, if that's still the plan.
It is. I will protect my
Just let
son.
them
So,
sort it out.
then it seems the original plan to avoid Ragnarok has fallen a bit by the wayside.
That is up to Odin.
Yes, that's rather
Yes,
what
it is.
concerns me. Listen, brother.
I agree.
Those things he said to you.
His words are nothing.
True, Though I expect retaliation is no empty threat. We need to think through the ins and outs of it.
You're getting ahead of yourself. Let's see if Sindri has had any luck.
Ta-da! Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, look who made progress finding lean worms. Oh, go on now, ring the chime, show the boss what you got.
I was trying to ring the chime.
Hello! Good to see the chimes working as intended.
So, this whole spectral squirrel business. You can shoot out your feelings into little ghosties.
I suppose that is a slightly inelegant way of putting it. These spectral versions of myself are aspects of my personality that I often find distracting at best. My ability not only lets me cast them away and provide some temporary peace of mind, it also allows me to see what goes on outside the tree.
Why not just go look yourself?
Now that would be a
As
fun
the eternal
ability.
caretaker of the tree, I may not leave its confines. All part of the deal, but worth it for the immortality and such. My spectral forms still allow me to see the outside world, albeit through slightly colorful viewpoints.
That's one word for it. That bitter form of yours is a nasty piece of work.
I'm standing right here, you no-neck freak.
I'd apologize for him, but where would it end? I think that's the long and short of it. Safe travels.
Okay.
We're done talking. Bugger off.
I quite like the pink one, not gonna lie.
Here's what I found.
What a rambunctious bunch.
There he is! Hey! Come show
XP
off the
available.
spear. See what we done. Now do the thing!
Oh, look at that. She's special, that one.
Ain't gotta tell me.
Have you found a way to reach Asgard?
Not as such. Had a few ideas, but they didn't so much work.
Brother, without a way to Asgard, what are we doing?
I do not know. I need to think. I am tired.
So, you're sure nothing unusual happened with the lady? Nothing at all?
Nothing whatever. Smooth as snail shit, like I said. Why?
Vitality and... have we not already got these? I know they say craftable. That just means we can upgrade the ones we've already got. And I can't remember which ones I already have.
It was a proper adventure to boot. I taught him all about the nature of the thing and the form
Slam the
of
gun
the
to create an
thing.
explosive
Become a
poison.
whole motif.
You're making up words.
I said it was a motif, and it was beautiful.
You are impossible.
Oh, what did I just equip that on?
Most possible one around here.
Oh. Fair.
You make up your mind.
Ooh. So that's the one I've got right now, which is defense and runic. So we'd have lower defense, lower runic and cooldown, defense, vitality, and luck. That is preferable. Shield.
And now
Was
for
that
the
what I just did?
goddess. You know what you want?
I don't know.
About time I had something to do.
Oh, there'll be an ad starting in like 15 seconds. Sorry, I've only just seen that. Probably just your internet. Everybody's internet's going really funny at the minute, and I meant to press that button. Woo! I will not continue with the story until you have returned. Pinky swear. Did I just put that hilt on her sword? No. Well, I've equipped something. No. Can I level that up? Yes, I can. Wasn't done. Focus on the other one first, because I don't use that enough. I like Fireball. Ooh. Nothing. Damn it. How it says edit appearance. Ah, right, that's what I did. Okay. So that's what I had on. Severs an enemy with Bifrost. Ooh, so that does damage against enemies affected with Sonic. Yeah, I'm doing that one. Because if I remember, that's a big if. That'll be quite good. 1 minute until the ads are over. Anything else I need to look at? Oh. Oh, excuse me. Some of hers. Add more specialised abilities to our range. Right, we don't have enough for that. We've nearly got enough for that, though. No. Applying stun to nearby enemies. That could be handy. That would be very handy. Ooh, so either the tendrils that slam people down and stun them, or adds more specialised ability to our range attacks. Probably going to go for that one, to be honest. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you. Let us continue.
Where are you going, brother?
Sleep.
So we're just keeping blindly on then, hoping we don't walk headlong into Ragnarok. Is that your plan?
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. He's not in the mood. He's having a moment. Bloody hurts that. Oh no, not the bottom lip wobble. Oh no. And the pet lip going. Stop it, stop wobbling your bottom lip. It's not fair. It'll make me sad. Really. He did not fall asleep that fast. Apparently did. How?
Kratos. You alright?
I'm sure that was meant to be like a loving look towards his wife, but he looked like he was gonna peel her skin off. And now he just looks really mad.
This way, Grumbles.
Do you enjoy the gentle waves, little one?
Do you know where I'm going?
Your father and I traverse this river often.
Do we?
One day.
Well, not anymore.
You'll learn to navigate its waters. We live deep in the wild woods. The most beautiful forest in all of Midgard. And it is safe and serene here. Game is plentiful, and you will want for nothing.
Except a mother. And a dad that listens and isn't
We're not
emotionally
far from the place
unavailable.
your father and I first met. We nearly took each other's heads off. But he's softened since then. Somewhat. Unfortunately for you, he remains dreadfully stoic.
Done now? Okay.
I suppose it will fall to me to teach you language. Your father can teach you to hunt. Or perhaps that will fall to me as well, since all he seems to be good for is grunting. Have you nothing to say to your son?
What would you have me say, Faye?
Anything. Let him learn your voice. Let him know you.
He is far better off knowing as little as possible.
Knowledge is not always a burden. Think. The mighty god of war, frightened of his own child.
I do not fear our child, Faye. I fear for him.
Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing okay.
We are not our failures. We are not who we were. We must be better.
Mm-hmm. Someone spent an awful lot of time putting a lot of work into that man's shoulder. And back, I suppose, but like, yeah.
Atreus is our future. Keep him safe, Kratos.
Yeah, they do.
Protect our son.
Oh, I think he's about to lose his shit. Well, no. Well, I suppose that's the equivalent of him losing his shit. Emotionally, anyway. Jesus, that man needs some chapstick. Why are you breaking the pretty house for? I was gonna say, what am I missing?
What did that wall ever do to you? Building focus. Something my father taught me.
Oh.
It work? Not yet. So, what you focusing on anyway? Controlling my emotions. Heimdall keeps trying to make me lose my cool. I can't give into it.
Through. Hey, it's through. Hey, be cool.
Training without me?
That a good idea? Training? I mean, I think it's a great idea, but won't your mom be mad if she finds out?
Good point. But did you consider...
No, it didn't. That didn't hurt, also.
Anyways, grandfather wants to see you.
Oh, grandfather. Right, okay. Here, then take this. And, send my regards to Sif, Lady Sif. And, Triss? See you later. And Thrude? Bye, Thrude.
Midgardian boys are so weird.
He played that really cool.
Weird can be good.
The two of you, that's right.
I like her.
What's in the jar?
Milk curd, Mom's favorite. It's his way of helping. Grandfather's in his study. Catch up later?
Now we have to play as this prick. Now, which way is this study again? Christ, is the bed big enough? Fucking hell, that's Thor's room, isn't it? Yeah. I feel that's unnecessary. Unless they really do not want to sleep anywhere near each other.
You don't understand. It's a lot more complicated than you think. You don't need to know why things are...
But I'm old enough.
This isn't about your age.
Then what is it about? Because by this point, Magni and Modi...
We're set on the path that led to their deaths. I don't understand.
You never tried to.
Bed for a snuggle party. I mean, I know Thor's a bigger dude on here, but like... That's ridiculous. Potentially unpopular opinion, I actually prefer big ginger chunky Thor. Smash.
Huh. Out of here. Maybe Odin's down in this library. Huh. Is this old, or does he make them paint him young?
What are you going on about?
I just don't get it. The mask. Bringing the giant that killed my sons here. Why?
I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Stop letting your wife think for you. She's clouding whatever's left of your brain.
This isn't about her.
No, it's about your limitations. Accept them and move on. Now go smash something, will you? Honestly, I liked you better as a drunk.
Wow. Dickhead.
Loki, come here.
No wonder he eats his feelings. Prick.
Finally figured it out.
Bloody hell.
This is where you killed Emir, isn't it? First giant.
Tell me, can you murder a landslide? Smother a storm? He was more, a force of nature, a vessel of power. I was young, foolish, saw an opportunity to create something more. I know you think it's cruel, but I did what I had to protect my own.
Why build your house here? What's in there? I'm gonna trust you.
I'm trying to tell you. In the wake of Emir's death, I saw something, the rift. Possibly the birthplace of reality. I looked inside, and something was there looking back at me. It whispered to me things I couldn't possibly comprehend, but I knew they were true. When it blinded me, I thought it was over, that I'd never see inside again. And then I found this. And I knew that it would finally let me see the answers. You see, son, I don't know
call him son.
where I go when I go. There's no Valhalla for me. Ragnarok cannot be the end. I need to know there's something more than this. I need to know what happens to me. And that's the truth, I swear, on
You die.
my last good eye.
That is what happens.
That's the truth.
The writing on here talks about a cold breath. Breath. Wind. It's gotta be Helheim.
Helheim, you say? I'll take it. And I know just the person to accompany you.
I like
I'm trusting you two can handle this responsibility.
You can count on us.
I fixed the straw.
Oh, forgot to mention, Heimdall will be joining you.
Oh, fuck.
What a privilege. For all of us.
Oh, whoa, hold up. You don't want to walk into the blistering cold of Helheim without this. Every Lau should keep you nice and toasty. You're welcome.
Huh. Ymir said even Odin couldn't survive the cold in Helheim.
You believe everything that old goat says?
Thrud, too bad your first time outside Asgard has to be to Helheim.
Nah, we're gonna make the most of this.
I like her. I don't like him. I really
Now,
hope
as
she
much
doesn't
as I would
die.
love to
But I'm
babysit,
kind of
I have
concerned.
something else to do for the Allfather. If you run into any trouble, just scream so I know where to find your bodies.
He's such an asshole.
Let's find that mask piece.
I agree. I agree. She really gives me the vibes of that character out of Demon Slayer that always goes, tasty! Can't remember his name. Is it Rengoku? No, that's someone totally different, isn't it? I can practically hear the anime people being like, what did you say? Sorry. Unless I was right, then I'm not sorry. Where's Mr. Maxwell? Mr. Maxwell will know!
Finally, I can test my skills alongside the real Valkyrie expert.
First off, Hellwalkers are nothing compared to Valkyries. Second, I thought you didn't believe me.
Demon Slayer. The one that says everything's tasty. Has hair very similar to her. I said Rengoku. I don't think that's his name though. Can you remember the name? There's either something in my eye or there's something on these glasses. Oh, it's the... Oh, actually I don't know. Is it my eye? One of them. Oh, I got it right? Yes. I can't even tell if it's my eye or the glasses. It's fine. I got it right. Fuck yeah. But yeah, that one. She gives him vibes. Which makes me concerned for her fate.
Hellwalker, here's your chance.
No, no. Karate chop. Go me. Oh. I forget about that sword.
For the record, I believe you fought the Valkyries. I just don't believe it was Grandfather who corrupted them, or that he caused the desolation in Midgard, or that he had all the giants killed. Am I missing anything?
Lots actually.
Definitely something in my eye.
More Hellwalkers! I got this!
What? I'm just supposed to watch? No way! Wow, really good.
Nightmare! Well,
Wow.
what other heinous crimes has my grandfather committed?
Let's see. He decimated
Many.
Vanaheim, tortured Tyr, murdered Groa, murdered Ymir. It goes on and on.
Interesting. And where'd you hear all this?
Freya and Mimir told me.
Oh, so his traitorous ex-wife and a bitter former advisor. Got it.
Look, you don't believe me, but
No, I don't. Either you're full of crap, or you're a hypocrite for helping him. Can we just focus on the mission?
I mean, he is quite a hypocritical child.
true. My father wasn't always the person he is now, but he changed. Maybe Odin can too. I know how hard it is to hear this stuff, but you should know the truth. What you choose to do with it, that's up to you.
I feel like she's gonna choose to bitch slap us if we don't shut up. Come on, then something's gonna jump out from somewhere. Ta.
Dead end. This is where the mask said to go?
Evidently. Yep. Any suggestions? No? Because it says go that way. And I'm not getting a cutscene. Or nothing. Well, I can't do that. Is there a way around it up here? Whoa! I heard something.
More
Where-
Hellwalkers! That means we're headed the right way.
The panic. Lady, I'm gonna like you. Stop it. You're gonna piss me off.
You want some of this?
Oh, where'd you come from? Wee, I missed. Thank you. Oh, didn't see you. Lady. Oh. Are we done now? His eyes gonna do my head in. Okay, so
I got this. There's a big hole up there now. Could be our way around.
What? I was gonna say, what are you expecting to do?
Hey, we're okay, right?
I guess. Maybe our families are just meant to be enemies.
Well, not us. I don't believe that.
Can you just climb it? Thank you so much.
What I do believe is that you'll make a great Valkyrie. I'll tell your mom the same thing, even if she scares the life out of me.
That means a lot. Now, we have a mask piece to find.
Ooh. I kind of like that one. Leave that one for now. Increases the status damage. Significantly reduce cooldown. Yeah, we'll just keep that one for now. Let's go.
Getting one's easy. Getting good at shooting is the hard part.
Maybe you can show me. I'll be the first Valkyrie archer.
Deal.
I mean, I'm not very good at shooting petals, so I wouldn't pin it all on me.
It fell through the floor.
Could be our way up. Let's head back down and find out.
Whee!
Now we go right.
Into a group of Hellwalkers. Let's get them. Whoa! What is that?
I'm loving it. I'll slow it down for you.
Will I? Not what I meant to do, but okay. Thank you for the luck, my dear. I appreciate you. I'm shooting the barrel, dude.
Very, very creepy.
Just a bit, right? Just a bit.
Careful.
Let's go.
And this way's blocked too.
There has to be another way. Keep your eyes peeled.
Anything in there? Nope, just for shooting. Okay.
What's the mask say?
So, the mask's pull is a little weird with all these buildings in the way, but I think we're going the right way.
You think?
Of all the songs.
We got company.
Yes, I can see that. Thank you. No, stop.
Nightmare!
Where? Oh. Ow.
Come on, Loki, try to keep up.
I've lost it.
Wait, so this way?
Sure.
Are you messing with me? I need this to go well. I need my family to see what I can do.
I know. We both do.
Yoink. I know. It's like, equip the mask. Equip the mask. I don't fucking want to equip the mask.
Mask?
There's only one way to go.
Looks like it's through here.
Oh, yeah, we're gone.
Let me get that for you. Okay, this thing is really fighting me. See anything in there?
There.
Nice. Whatever you shot crashed through the floor again. Let's head back and check it out. So, I talk about my mom a lot. What's your dad like?
He's intense. Like he's trying to force me into this mold. But I'm not sure that's me.
Oof. Well, I know exactly what that's like.
Thing is, I don't know what I want. I love that you do.
You'll figure it out.
Whoa!
No, you were meant to dodge that, darling.
Okay, that's a big one.
Yes, it is.
More of them!
Oh! Oh.
Still with me, Loki? Oh, you can turn into a wolf?
Yes, I can.
Look out!
God damn it. Trying to get some help. Oops. I just got pooped.
Come on, Loki, try to keep up!
Rude.
Wow. The rush! Does it ever go away?
No, it doesn't.
Mom's gonna have a real tough time keeping me in Asgard after this.
What the fuck's on top of that? Do you know what? Not my circus. Not my circus. Not my monkey. Not my...
Which way?
The mask showed it was straight ahead earlier. But of course the way's blocked.
Maybe they're trying to keep people out. Or something in. I bet there's
Why'd you have to say that last
Sweet.
bit? Why'd you have to say that last bit? You know what I mean? Couldn't have just left it at keep you out. Nope.
So, how'd you know you wanted to be a Valkyrie?
I didn't always. After a bad fight with Mom, I snuck out and found my training. Somehow every movement they made had such purpose, like they knew exactly where they needed to be. And in that moment, so did I.
Fair.
So, where to now?
I did equip the mask.
Looks like it's through here.
So training gave me...
Too heavy?
Shut up! Something's blocking it.
I'll take a look, but I want to hear the rest.
Deal.
Are you gonna climb it or what?
Have you seen these arms?
Let's see.
I don't think that'll work. Yeah, no. And I can't go up. So...
Should I stop pushing?
Not yet.
No, you probably should. Am I meant to go through or around or something? Oh. I knew that.
Not bad.
I know. As I was saying, seeing the Valkyries fight, all strength and style, no apologies, it gave me clarity. For the first time, I saw my path forward, clear as day.
Too bad giants have to follow prophecy.
Who cares? Make your own path, just like we've been doing here.
Well, there's a chest in there, so I'm at least getting
Now,
that.
let's see.
I still expect something to jump up every now and then out of one of them. 2 seconds, I'll just turn this off. Make sure I've got everybody up that I need up. Bear with me, guys. Sorry. Harold is streaming. Therefore, I need to put in my lurk. Ta-da! Right. Is there anything over here? Nothing I can get to. I mean, if I get hard silver though. The aim's very sensitive, but not in like a helpful way for me. Nope. That all? Did I get that? Oh, no. I missed a bit of hot silver. Right. All hard silver. Ooh. How did I miss that one? I think I got him.
Step aside, little man. I feel it weakening. Maybe I should just shut up and concentrate.
Possible.
I can feel
Because I can't see anything I need to shoot.
definitely budging.
Oh. Okay, I found something I need to shoot.
Sure looks like it.
I'm like, where's the thing I'm needing to shoot? Ow. Rude, very rude. All of you rude. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you greatly. Feel free to just lurk or chat. Both are totally cool. I apologise, I'm not as chatty as normal. I kind of get engrossed.
Oh. Not bad. Guess we make a good team.
Yeah.
Where to now?
I do like her. I do. I will equip the mask in a second. Oh, not that way.
Looks like it's through here, but it's blocked.
Shocker. So I'm assuming that needs to come down. So
what if I move this? Aha! Can you get up there?
sadly, yes. Yes, I can.
See if you can find a way to cut the crate down on the other side. I'll wait here. I don't have a fancy way up like you do.
Got it.
Excuse me, thank you. I'll borrow that. Well, evidently I'm gonna have to go down, aren't I?
Ingrid, was I too rude about her grandfather? She should know the truth, right? Yeah, guess so.
Hey, you talking to me?
No. Just talking to Ingrid.
Okay. Well, I'm waiting.
I think she's just like, okay. That's nice. You talk to your sword. Cool. Ooh. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Yep, doing that. I thought I saw a cat walk through the door there. Nope. Just white smudges out the corner of my eye. From here.
You did it!
I did!
Better get back.
I did it!
Hey, what's going on out there? You okay?
I got it!
Attaboy, Loki. Mess him up!
Take this and one of these and some of that. One of them. You absolute blumpkin. Yeah, I said it. Can I shield as a wolf? Gotcha. Did not get ya. Ah, yeah, get him! Get him! I thought there was something around the corner. We showed them. Fuck yeah. Help. Thank you. Do 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 do. Yep, got everything up
All
here.
right, the path's open.
Yeet.
Let's go.
Whoa, the mask is freaking out. We must be close.
Thank you. Oh, I don't like that sound.
What was that?
Don't look at me. You're the one who's been here before.
It's probably nothing.
Doesn't sound like nothing.
Thank you. Thank you. It doesn't, does it? Wherever the... Where the fuck are you? Oh. Yoink. Yeah, you. Thank you. You disappeared. I want to find out what that is. Oh. I'm gonna do pet lip now. Can't make it wobble though. Hello?
Yep.
You sound like a
Gotta get out of
dragon.
here.
The mask. We're so close.
But it's a
Besides,
big puppy.
I don't think it's dangerous.
Are we looking at the same thing? Maybe. He's locked up for a good reason.
I can feel what he's feeling. It's a giant thing. Look, he just wants to be free. The peace must be
Just a
behind him.
puppy.
Trust me.
All right. Let's start with the lock not near its teeth.
Hi, puppy.
Shh. There we go.
I instantly agree. Free the puppy.
Let's do the
I'll
next.
sacrifice this teenager to free that puppy. Can I pet that dog? Hey, Blondie, look at the blood in his beard. If you don't get that movie reference, I'm not going to apologize, but you need to educate yourself. Well, it's this guy's mustache, but the dog doesn't have a mustache. I know I should probably get the hook.
All right. There.
Hi, Boopy.
Looks like there was another one under his foot.
Oh, thanks, Boopy. Silly puppy. Not a boy.
Mangy mutt.
Let's look in the chamber he was guarding.
Bye. I feel like that was a win. The child didn't die. And we
Dead
freed a
end?
puppy.
Please tell me it's down in the water or something.
There's... How? It's not responding anymore. This has never happened.
But you said trust
It was
you.
the puppy.
And we let that thing loose. Grandfather's gonna kill me. We gotta get out of here. Come on.
Through. Wait up.
Maybe we missed it. Maybe it's back here somewhere.
Through. It's gonna be okay.
How can you say that? I shouldn't have listened to you.
Look, if I made a mistake, I'll fix it. I can find the piece.
I don't think we can fix all of that just occurred. That was a lot of buildings crumbling. We're just one teenage prick. How are we meant to fix crumbling buildings? I'm sure he's just misunderstood. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to call him a prick. Okay? He acts like a prick. And I feel like at my age, I have the divine right to call a teenager a prick. Oh, look!
You absolute, unqualified moron! You know that thing tears holes between realms, right?
I do now.
Well, I suppose I should expect nothing less from half-breeds.
Don't call me a half...
I will call you whatever I like, Junior.
Leave him alone. It was a mistake.
No! The mistake was allowing you to think that you were ready. You helped him, didn't you? What side are you on anyway, Guppy?
Try me and find out.
Yeah.
Oh. And what are you going to do exactly? You see, everyone takes it easy on you because they are afraid of your father. I am not. That fat, drunken, utter piece of trash! Hey!
Again!
Yes, yes, the dumb does not fall far from the tree. Very well, then. Give me your best shot. You have a lot to learn, little girl. Starting with who your family is and who it is not.
Just wait until I'm a Valkyrie.
Oh. You really believed the Allfather would allow that to happen? Please do not let this little weasel feed your delusions any longer.
Enough!
So close.
Stop! He just wants to make you mad.
Yeah?
Well, it worked.
Well, you toddlers are boring. If you are finished throwing your little tantrum...
God, I can't
we
wait
should
for him
go
to
out.
die.
Because I cannot wait to watch you explain this mess to the Allfather.
You forget he was meant to come with us, and he's meant to be the all-seeing, all-knowing, blah, 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 blah. So he watched us do this and did fuck all. Logically, that's how it should go down. If it does not logically go that way,
Let's check his study.
I'm gonna be very
Oh,
disappointed.
boy, is he going to lose it.
Father will have my back.
After the Allfather sent him away sulking with his tail between his legs? Doubtful.
What
And
the
you,
fuck am I stuck on?
Loki of the Jotnar. I am haunted by your incompetence. It keeps me up at night.
Whatever.
No, seriously, I find the hues and shades of your shortcomings almost moving. If we could only somehow harness your uselessness, we could fuel this entire city.
Fine. It's all on me. Just leave her out of it.
I don't need your help, Loki.
Sorry.
Save it for the Allfather.
Like, do we get to put the spear, like, from butthole out of mouth? Because, oh, that'd just be so nice. That would be so nice. We'll just full on Vlad the Impaler.
We have a lot to discuss.
Loki, I'll
That
meet you in
really
your room when I'm
irritating
finished here. Shouldn't be
thing
long.
there.
Okay.
My mission went quite well, Allfather. Secured the item we've discussed. The mask, on the other hand, well,
Thanks a lot.
Thrud,
I don't want to hear it. Everything was fine until you showed up.
I'll make it up to you. I swear.
Was it though? Like, was it really?
I really messed up. It's times like this I really miss home. Ingrid, did you have a home? Before you came here? Someone who took care of you? That sounds like a yes. Maybe I could help you find them without, you know, screwing it up. Sound like a plan?
When Ragnarok summon is on a cooldown, significantly increase the status applied from runic arrows. There'll be an ad starting in 1 minute, just so you know. That could be good. Where do I equip that though? I already have one. Good. How well then?
May I come in? I heard what Heimdall had to say. I'd like to hear it from you. What happened?
It wasn't there. I was wrong.
Well, we all make mistakes, son.
That's about to start. So I will wait. I nearly ended stream. My goodness. Not what I wanted to do at all. Can do that. I'll get there eventually. Oh, Jesus, I'm too old for this shit. Ow. So I hope everybody's night's going well. You all prepped for tomorrow and all that jazz? My lip ring just went right into the centre of that straw. I thought it was going to get stuck. I was very concerned. Oh, bloody hell. What am I looking for? I don't know. I'm looking for... I was looking for something. God, it's gone dead cold. It's meant to be 4 degrees here. Yeah, it feels colder right now than it did last night. And I'm pretty sure last night we were like minus, at least at some point. I fixed it. I'm alive. Woohoo! Stop. Thinks I can't see ya. I'm glad you are alive, sir. So excuse me. How have you fixed it? Have you reset it? Do do do. I love this band. Da 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 da. Ah. I feel like I'm going to have to ring in about mine, you know, because every now and then it'll just randomly drop and we've only had him for a couple of months. So it'll be like, hello, Mr. Internet Man. Let me tell you a story about me shitty internet. Well, it's not shitty, it just occasionally drops out. Doom, doom, do, 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 do. I'm gonna. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you. I know I always say the same thing, but I mean it every single time. I really do. Now, get a bit of hair off the glasses. And we'll swap back over. Okay. Cool. She doesn't. Do? I just show it differently.
But freeing Garm, That was a big one. Chaos is already spilling out into the other realms. We're safe here in Asgard. But everywhere else...
I think I want to go home now.
Okay, if that's what you want. I meant it when I said you're not a prisoner here. It's your choice. Go, clear your mind. I know you'll be back. But before you go, I'll need the mask back. It's not that I don't trust you, you understand? It's the company you keep.
Hi, Griffin.
Oh, and Ingrid?
Oh, not Ingrid.
Please, need to go.
I like Ingrid.
Loki.
Hi, Griffin.
When you do decide
He's saying
you're
hello
ready
to everyone.
continue our work here, Hugin will be waiting for you in your old home. You screwed up. Doesn't change the fact that you're welcome here.
You manipulative bastard.
Oh, and say hi to Mimir for me.
Hi, Griffin.
Never thought I'd be so relieved to be back here.
Gom. In my defense, I saw a chained up wolf in bad shape. I would have done the same thing. I was even willing to sacrifice the child to do so. No judgment here. What are you doing? Big puppy. It is a big puppy. Welcome in. Wait, I need that space for my arm. If you would be so kind. Nope, I'm just gonna have to sit like this for a bit. Because the little cat is in the way.
If you're staying, you might be waiting a while.
How are you? Oh, now I've got cat fur on my nose. Oh, wonderful.
Of course.
Boom. Hi-ya. Oh, you shit, I saw that coming and all. Pretty good. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm not too bad, thank you.
Quick.
What are you doing?
Odin was right. Freeing Garm.
Griffin, you've been a pain in the
How
butt.
did I screw up so bad?
How are you liking the Atreus sections? I won't lie, I think Atreus is a prick. I understand he's, you know, going through some shit and his dad's emotionally unavailable and being a teenager's tough. But, like, he irritates us.
Okay.
I do find him easy to
Guess
fight
it's time
with,
to face
but
it.
he irritates.
No running away.
I
this
know
time.
he's just a kid.
Almost
But
home.
I feel like
It's gonna
I'm
be
at an age
fine.
where I can turn around and be
Everything's
like, I
fine.
understand. But that does not take away from you being a prick. I may understand where your behaviours come from, but at the end of the day, your behaviours are the behaviours of a prick. Most kids are dicks. I know. And I would say that about most kids.
It's you! Wait!
Well, I'd say it about kids that behave like him. It's a little criminal.
Where's father? Trying to find a way to you. Do you mind? We're being attacked
Oh,
right
for
now.
God's sake, fine.
This
Yeah,
won't
get 'em,
stop until I
puppies.
close that realm tear.
Just fucking close it then. I mean, I could be a bit of a pain in the arse as a teenager, but I do not think I was that level of annoying. Bite all the heads off, worse me. I'ma eat you, and I'ma eat you. What do you mean? You just told me to. Right, can you stop?
Tell me when!
Lassa.
Lassa. Rifa. Lassa. Rifa.
Oh no! Get off me! Come on, where's your dad? There we're gone. Yep.
Father!
Off your back. Help Freya. I will draw them to me.
Yeah!
Swish, swish. Nope, that one. Fireball. I can do that too. See? Mine hurts more. Why am I going slowly? Oh, ice. The black bear cloak. Hell yeah! I mean, I do like the look of... Excuse me. I'm trying to have a conversation here. Oh, no. There's one that we just started picking up. The armor that you get from the ravens. Odin's ravens. I like the look of that. That looks like it'll be schnazzy.
Is it over? No thanks to you.
Thank you.
Where is Atreus?
Atreus?
Oh, for God's sake, he's not just gone
Has
this
the runaway returned and brought all this with him?
God, just hold still.
I told you I'm fine.
Oh, you're bleeding.
Quit your blubbering.
I just got him back here. Seriously? The Raven armor good for heals. Which is exactly what I need. Because I die a lot. Oh, thank God he's still there. Well, you can't get up on my knee. You're too big.
What do I call you?
You dye your hair a lot? Once every couple of months. Why? And hello, darling. But why? Does it need dyeing again? I know my roots are starting to come through a little bit. One tip I have is try not to roll. Sidestepping gives a much better advantage. I'll attempt to remember that, but I do tend to like kind of panic and just bash the shit out of the button. So you know.
It's all my fault.
You just said you die a lot. Yeah, as in like,
The Hell
you know.
Walkers. They're everywhere. Everywhere.
That is not your
Everyone
fault.
does.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
I'll try and remember.
There was a wolf in hell. He was in chains and I set him free. I thought that if
Garm? Great bleeding fuck, lad. You freed Garm?
Garm? Who freed Garm? That's madness. Surely not you, young one.
If the Hound of Hell is loose, he'll chew through the fabric of the realms. Hellwalkers are just the beginning. What were you thinking?
Aye, this is a fuck up of not insignificant proportions.
What would drive you to such mischief? Is this Loki's doing?
Oh, how we give him a minute. I mean, even I think he's a prick, but Jesus Christ.
One that we...
I'm a pro gamer.
Grand. Now, if you don't mind, I'd rather stay here.
I like your
I've had my fill of
attempt,
visits to
darling.
Helheim.
I always tell people just because, well, it is, I do appreciate that. I really do. And I will really try and remember that. Good, my shouties don't work, so we can't hear your beautiful vocal tones like butter. I mean, he didn't know any better. I was willing to sacrifice him to free the puppy.
I'm not sure I
It's
have a way
fine.
back to Alon.
Perhaps the squirrel does.
I need to speak with you at once. At once, I say.
Well, where you going? Oh, hang on. I want this. No, no, don't you.
Gentlemen, I apologize for my brusque tone, but whatever has lately
want the
transpired in
thing in the
Helheim is
corner.
completely unacceptable. I must insist you remedy the situation without further delay. I implore you, return to Helheim post-haste and undo whatever it is you've done.
Can I at least go get the thank you. I'm like, can I go get the thing first?
And, might I add, never do it again.
Oops. Look, it was just a little mistake. It's fine.
And if you must
Collect
imperil
6
the
restore
fabric of
true
reality in the
form.
future,
We are going.
Yeah, exactly.
and do try not to fuck up.
Blind.
Aren't you gonna, you know, reprimand me?
No. I am relieved. You are safe.
Okay. Wow. Maybe I should run away more often.
Atreus.
Kidding. Sorry. So where'd the new spear come from?
Brock made it. From Dropnir.
What's that?
A ring.
But what's its story?
I do not know. You were not there to ask.
Oh, now you shut up? I turn around so we can have a proper talk.
Atreus.
He's probably just scared. He was chained up for a really long time. We can't hurt him, okay?
A desperate creature can be the most dangerous.
I know.
Alright. That felt a bit personal. I know. What do you say about that?
You gotta get across before he opens up more realm tears.
Can't be too much in it. Yeah. Kratos wasn't always some
your
big
new spear
angry
knock out that
guy
piece
in
of
the
the wall?
Greek games.
Looks
He had a
fractional
human
enough.
side that was displayed by his family. It's nice to see Kratos displayed both his Greek side here in Ragnarok. That is fair. I think that's part of the appeal people have for him, you know, that it's sort of like the same with Geralt. I mean, granted, Geralt's like, ooh, but we don't need to get into that. It's the whole, like, suppressed emotions, but actually has deep emotions. Business. Hello, Griffin. Do not go behind the sofa. I will leave you there until I'm done streaming. I mean it.
Wind powers? Cool.
Right? Super cool. Pro gamer, yes. Also head blocker, so deaths are inevitable. Exactly. I block with my face.
Did Odin ask you to free that creature?
What?
Hello,
No.
Griffin.
Why?
Are you not working with him?
It's not what you think.
Whatever he promised, he cannot be
Alright,
trusted.
I'm ahead to the next stream
don't.
because I can't
But
stay
he
on
has
one
something I
stream for
need.
more than 5 minutes. That is fair. Thank you very
hard
much
to
for being here. I
explain.
appreciate you. Thank you. It was nice to chat. And thank you for the pointers. Enjoy your next stream. And hopefully see you around sometime. I got one of them too. Boop! Got your leg. Boop. Well, why don't you do something about it? No, not the one I'm fighting. Swing! Bing! I mean, that'll do it. Yeah! Yeah! Pew pew! Hills. That one did, that one did. Oh! Oh.
You gotta get up there. This ice is in the way.
I will handle it.
Will I though? Oh, there must be more than one bit. Hang on. Yeah. Any more?
Still didn't work.
I see that.
Another perspective, maybe. Something you missed?
Ever fucking gently, kid. We want on the top. Ooh, hello.
The wind from your wings.
A very Westlife. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Less appreciated. Ooh, like that though. That was nice. Fucking hell! Okay, I deserve that. Jesus. I like how I'll think to myself, well, I kind of get much more like, you know, fucking hell on a death than that, and then all of a sudden they pull something like that out the works, like, never mind.
It is hard to explain. Why?
I just need you to trust me. I know I have no right to ask.
No.
Can you anyway?
No, you don't.
What does he have that you need? Why can you not tell me?
It's complicated. What about you? Why do you have a new weapon? I thought you didn't want war.
I do not. But...
It's complicated.
It annoys me when the kid makes good arguments. Like I say, I understand his prick behavior. I just don't appreciate being on the receiving end of it.
Everyone keeps secrets. Sometimes it's the only way to protect the ones we love. And don't worry about Odin. I'm not going back there.
Right?
That is good to hear.
Will you stop it?
Around tear. Garm's been busy. I think I understand how Freya close one. Keep the enemies away if you can.
I can.
Let me know when you're ready. I bet if we follow those Hellwalkers up there, we find Garm.
Can you just shut the fucking thing, please? Chop chop. Wrong button. Mine.
Almost done.
Fireball. Excuse me. Do you fucking mind? I am stuck. Like, legitimately, that wasn't letting me do shit there. I thought I just fucking healed him.
We'll have to keep an eye out for more.
I thought I was gonna die. I got stuck. I don't know if, like, well, obviously you've seen it. You're watching the same screen as me. But
well, that's good to hear too.
Tell me, What were you doing in Asgard?
I was translating things for Odin. There's this mask he found and a magical rift that's connected to it. It's all sort of...
complicated.
Yeah, but I met people my age there. Made friends.
What do you
I
want?
think we're still friends.
Do you need out? Is that what this
loyal
is?
to Odin.
It's not always bad to trust people.
It compromises your judgment.
Maybe.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for the lurk. I appreciate that. But I understand I want to watch for spoilers. And welcome in. Feel free to just, like, go do your thing, though. Because if you don't want spoilers, that's totally okay. Thank you. Do you need to go out? Is that what's happening right now? So I'm going to have to be right back, screen use, for 2 seconds. Slight panic in your voice there. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. I think I kept my cool quite well. But yeah, Bella needs to go out. So I will be as quick as possible. Thank you for your patience. Right, where's the button? There is the button. I will Am I on a chatting screen? I don't know. Am I on a chatting screen? Hello? Thank you for the raid. I'm sorry that I was away. The dog needed to go out. How was your stream? Hello, everybody. I'm very sorry, Cypher, that I was not here. Forgive me. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Thank you for the resub. I appreciate you. Stream was chaos. I blame Wee Wee. Don't blame Wee Wee. Nothing. Wee Wee would never cause chaos. I don't believe it for a second. I do not have fish, I'm afraid. A lot of fish. Oh, for some reason. Oh no. So that happened. We did the follow goal as well. Oh my goodness. I can feel the pink raising up my flesh right now. Thank you, guys.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
Wee wee, I just said you were innocent. What you doing? So hi everyone. How's it going? You did do the follow goal. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Okay, right. I need to kind of... welcome in. We bring the chaos with us. I can see that. I can see that. So, I'm Panda Pop. I'm now flustered as fuck. Thanks. You're here too. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I have a headphone stuck in my hair. I'm doing such a good job. Right, I quit. I'm done. With the headphone, not with this. Still here. Calm down. I'm a grown-up. I need to calm down. Panda Pop. Games. Don't play them well. Don't expect good gameplay.
Wow.
Attention span of it. Thank you. Attention span of like Doug from Up, but with ginger hair. Hi. How's everybody doing? What was it that you were streaming? I haven't given you a shout out yet, have I? The bloody audacity. My shout out window's not working. Destroy all humans. Yes, that was what was on. I do have you tabbed up, which now means I have me tabbed up, which is horrible, but never mind.
Money don't jiggle jiggle.
Oh, no.
I like to see you wiggle wiggle. For sure.
Stop.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. I like to see you wiggle wiggle. For sure.
I did. I said you. I mean, I can't go back on it.
I like to see you wiggle wiggle.
I suppose she's innocently pressing the button. I'm sure there's a reasonable... It's stuck. That's what it is. She's not doing it on purpose at all. I'm poor. No bits. That's okay. Me too. Cyber has all the fucking bitties that I had. He started the war, but I'm winning it. Don't care what he says. I am winning it. I made sure of it. Hence why I have no more biddies. But that's a different story. Stop it. My goodness. I just appreciate that you're here. You're gonna make me like a different colour. Stop it. So did you have a good game? Obviously chaos, yes. Did you destroy all the humans? That is the aim of the game, right? I've never played it before. You already are a different colour. Yeah, pasty. I pale mouth out. It's what I do. I do really appreciate it. Honest, I do. But, like, stop it. A robo-prez destroyed me for the last... Fair. I mean, there are worse ways to spend a Sunday, I suppose. Yeah? Oh, I like the song. Kind of tickles your brain a bit, doesn't it? So, I'll get back on with the game now.
Money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Thank you. Stop it. You just had to get it over that next line, didn't you? Just keep going. Okay, I'm gonna go on to the game now, otherwise I'll just sit here the entire time being like, swap me. And we all know that I will, because I've done it before. Okay.
Time for a little drinky poo. Cheers, genitals.
I've got to stop that game. No game, just drink. Well, I only have juice. I do have, what's it called? Tequila Rose, for when I fail on no swearing or no talkings. Or for when I feel like it, I suppose. Thank you, though. Bought more bits just to get it over that 100. Oh, you didn't have to do that. I mean, I appreciate you, but you didn't have to do that. I was like, is that no talking? Do it. Thank you for the lurk, wee wee. I appreciate you. Hang on, I need to put my timer on. Wrong timer. Yeah, get some sleep if you need it. I hope you sleep well. And thank you very much. You were too kind. Too kind. Gosh darn it. Nearly. I'd have to go in the kitchen and get it. Anyway.
Feeling alone.
Atreus.
Let's just figure out how this gate works. Okay?
I mean, generally, they open and shut. Generally. Beard, you gotta stay for 10 minutes now. Yeah, you do. Were you planning on leaving me? The audacity.
Here's blocked when the gate is up.
Is it really? What do I do about that then? Also, what counts as a naughty word? Swearing. Which I normally do every other sentence. Word. Thanks. Now see if I do that, can I still move this? No.
What are you thinking?
No. Maybe we can use menu arrows. We can chain elements.
Oh, okay. What extent of swearing? I see what you're trying to do here. Any word. I mean,
we're gonna need more
I
than one
personally wouldn't put that under a swear. Personally.
Alka.
Apparently there we go. How's the game going? It's going. It's going.
Need a way to transfer that freeze ability around the gate. Maybe we can use menu arrows. They can chain elements.
I mean, that one I'd say no because of. Right, okay. I stopped pulling the button. Gosh darn it. That one I would have been like, maybe not. I pressed the wrong button again. Simply because. Will you stop it? Right, multitasking's not happening. Okay? It's not. Definitely not trying to get you to say it. No, I know. Normally. Oh wait, no. Sorry, gosh darn it. That would definitely
Maybe we
count.
Can use menu arrows.
That would definitely
Chain
count.
elements.
I tried using the arrows, but then I did it wrong.
How
I ain't saying it. That means I'd have to get up and go in the kitchen. Which means you'll go on a Be Right Back screen again, and we've both just seen how much you like Be Right Back screens. You know, I'm doing you a favor.
Yes.
Now you work. Now you work.
Another one! Left side!
Ew. Yeah. Oh, I have no idea what broke on OBS at all. It would just, when I was first trying to turn it on, it was saying that, blah, blah, blah. What was it saying? That it was already open. So, it just wouldn't open. Then when I restarted the computer, it was saying that it couldn't open it properly, but wouldn't give us an explanation as to why. So I went in Task Manager, tried turning everything off, because Cyber had said that he'd had that happen at one point, where it was saying that it was open when it wasn't. And who has 5,000 channel points?
This is all my fault.
He said he'd went in Task Manager, tried to sort it, like, see where it could have potentially been open.
We need a better angle.
And he found it in one of the really lower down parts or something. It was very bizarre, but it works now. So I don't know what I did, but I did something and now it works. Oh, bye. Oh dear. I'll do a shot of it before I end stream, if it'll make you feel better. I also have another 4 minutes and I'll totally forget about it. And swear. So, there is that. That's what normally happens. I forget that I've got a 10-minute timer on, then I swear. Oh, wait, no yeet. No yeet. Go down there. It is! And I have a short memory, that's why I was just like, okay, well, I'll put it on for 10 minutes and I'll forget. Practically guaranteed.
Enemy on the left!
Then deal with him. Must I do everything, boy?
That was close!
Yes, it was. Take this. Ooh. I'ma get some sleep. Okie dokie, I hope you sleep well and I like your attempt. I applaud, like, your determination. I really do.
All right, let's keep moving.
And I would have gave in if I didn't not want to go to the kitchen. Nope, wrong. One there, and then one there, and then I go, boop, goes the weasel. Oh, but for this one.
Here it comes!
Here it comes indeed. No.
Right side!
Then shoot him. Night. Boop. Bonk. I'm sure that thing just said sugar honey iced tea. Boop. Thank you for dropping by, and thank you for the 170. I hope you sleep well. Next time you pop into stream, I will sweat so much. Just for you. Oh. I didn't do that. That was not me. I missed the chest. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, that's a spicy one, isn't it? That is going to be the next one. I'm going to level it up. So it's going to be What's this? Ooh. Charge down an enemy with the current, dealing large amount of damage. Killing the enemy heals you a small amount. But the one I've got on heals me a reasonable bit. I need to kind of update them when I get some more points. Restore health, but incoming damage is increased. What is the point in that then? It's like, I'll heal you, but if anything hits you, it's going to hurt you more. And completely counteract what I just did. Have a nice day. Just crazy talk. Let's go.
Atreus, I do not want you to feel alone. But your decision to go to Asgard helped me understand.
Odin doesn't
You're
want Ragnarok.
supposed to dodge.
I know
Well,
I can't trust him, but I needed his help.
dodging's for
Can't
like
let
people
Ragnarok
with
happen either.
agility. And, you know, people that aren't he just hit me with that shield. Yeah, cheeky bugger. People that aren't crippled, you know.
I know. Wait, he's right here.
So I just block with my face. Ooh!
Okay.
Fuckity, fuck.
Boy. It's all right. Just calm.
Cunt nugget and twat waffle.
Calm.
I feel that.
We just wanna.
I think that worked. Oh, hello. Oh. I've been better. Woo! Fireball. Hurrah! Excuse me.
You're wearing a lot of ice right now.
What words did you just say?
I said, excuse me? Did you not heal me?
Come on, we can squeeze through here.
So people who get good. I don't need to get good. I need to get at least average first before I can get good. No, I don't think I heard correct. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Because that's what I said. Because that thing took a swing at me with the hammer, and it actually hit me, and I was like, excuse me? And then he was all like, grrr, and I was just like, pew, pew. That's what happened. I think I'm hilarious. Which is a good thing, because nobody else does. Yeet. Ooh.
If Odin truly wishes to avoid Ragnarok, then we are in agreement.
Yeah? What's that spear for?
To protect you.
Don't you have other weapons for that?
Whee!
What are these guys doing here?
They are dead.
Oh, yeah. Fair point.
It is quite a fair point, to be honest. Do something about it then, instead of just shouting at me. Oh, terror. Wait, what is round here? Absolutely nothing, never mind. Hello, Griffin. There you go. You coming? No, you're just gonna make it look like you're jumping on my knee and then not bother. Hello, Griffin. Mr. Sirius and Mr. Maxwell, of course. Will you be about in about 10 to 15 minutes? Because I was meant to finish stream earlier, but I can't just finish stream as soon as someone comes in. That would be terrible. And would you like to partake in some Monster Hunter? I felt how crazy that look was on my fish.
Traveler, I hate fighting these guys when they're alive.
You okay there, bud? Wow. If you have Monster Hunter, you can join us too. I'm sorry. Why? 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 Woo! Excuse me. Up. Up. Holy moly, man. What's your malfunction? Fireball.
Throw your axe at the glowy thing.
Throw me axe at the what? Oh. That was great. No, no. No. No, no. 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 Naughty, 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 bad, naughty. Sugar plum. Ooh, that got me a bit. Nope. No. No. Naughty, naughty, bad. Come on! Taste that and repeat, and a bit of this. No, no, no. It's too late now. I see where I'm at one. Do you have Monster Hunter Wilds?
Seriously, why the spear?
I didn't know you had it.
It's your turn.
I mean, you're still welcome to join us in the chat, though.
I am the parent.
You're ducking
Unfortunately,
the
no. I'm going to hop into bed. Got another early shift tomorrow. Plus, I haven't started Monster Hunter World yet. Gonna stream tomorrow. Ooh, okay. Not gonna tell you. Okay. What, amulet? Amulet. Spartan Rage. Wrath activation. Shockwave consumes status effect on nearby enemies. Oh. That might be nice. Oh, well, if you're going to start it tomorrow, then I can do what Sirius did and hop in when you're able to do multiplayer. And be all like, I'm here to save the day. And then just be canon for it. Nope, I don't got it. It does look good though, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. My goodness. It looks rather schnazzy. You're always welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, that looks like it's going to be fun when it drops. Oh, didn't see that. Okay, kid. You're up.
Alpha. Looks like it's not vulnerable to sigil arrows.
Then how am I meant to do it?
I think my arrows will stick to the wood up there.
Okay. See, he's kind of helpful when he says things, because he waits until you're done, and then says something.
Alka!
That's probably too high, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh!
Go.
Oh, what do you know? Ooh. I need a new jet. I'm gonna look into like a high back reading chair. And my sister's getting this one.
We're close. Promise me you won't kill him, okay?
I make no promises, but I will
I
try
have
not
no
to
intention
kill the
of
beast.
killing him. I was willing to sacrifice you to free the puppy in the first place. I have no intention of killing him. If it makes me kill him, I'm going to be very sad. I need a new one too. Found one that looks good, so I'm going to save up for it. I found like a couple, like I think there was one, I may have seen it on your throne, where it looks like a recliner and it's got the little whatever's built into it and stuff. But I'm also attempting to save to move house. So that's, I can't save for both of them. And moving house is definitely a priority over my already broken spine. So, I figured a reading chair would be a bit easier. It will make you happy. This is true. I'd probably just wait a bit. Yeah, exactly. Because you can get... How come you're moving? Oh, if you knew where I live, you wouldn't answer that. You wouldn't. You wouldn't need to ask that question. Crikey Moses. Like my neighbour, for example. We don't ever get anything like brought to the door, if you will. But my neighbour could probably have a regular slot on Jeremy Kyle. I mean, technically, yes, you do know where I live, but you've never been here, so you don't know. But yeah, she could be a regular on Jeremy Kyle. It's How I have not just been like, do you know what? Prison, a couple of days will be fine.
He's coming! Right side!
Because they are definitely individuals that deserve a head pat with a shovel. Goodbye, friend of Hagrid. They did look a bit Hagridy too.
But looks like there's a notch
I
in the
mean,
wall.
how do you know I wasn't outside your window? Just because I'm too lazy to drive all the way there. That and you'd have to climb a ladder to get outside my window, and that would hurt your back. And the drive up here would probably hurt your back too. Yay, freedom! Basically, it's just all very painful business, really. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work from there. Where can I shoot it from, though? Ah, round here. Well, fine. I just saying. You can wait. There's goodies to collect. Whee! Ooh. I'm gonna snooze the ads because we're gonna be going off soon, so no point. Ooh, that's nice. Soup, good soup. Hello, Fang. How are you? Oh, so that's an option to go to. Don't know which way I was meant to go now. Right, so this can take me.
What is your plan?
I'm sort of making it up as I go. But you're not talking about Varm.
You cannot outsmart Odin.
It's worked so far.
Has it?
No, it has not. He just hocked them to death.
Now what?
I'm gonna try to tame it.
tame it.
Sure. I've tamed wolves
Doing
before.
better. No more 3-day headache. Good. Good. However, I also feel like I've missed something. Nose is running like a sprinkler though. That's unfortunate. And a very unusual visual. No, my TV's like, I'm gonna turn off now. It's... Hold that thought. At least feel better now. Right, gentlemen. You wait your turn. Gee. I mean, I should probably kind of save it here and just wait. Because there's going to be a big fight in that. And I'm already past where I said I was going to. Sprinter, not sprinkler. My apologies. I quickly skim read that to make sure I didn't die. I mean, technically the same thing's occurring. You know, running. Right, we have saved. So, now... Let me just press the button. Did it work? Right. Who to raid? No. Do we want to stay God of War? Not many people play God of War, to be honest. Let's have a look. What have we got? I feel like Sprinkler be more having sneezing. If you think a sprinkler's like sneezing, I'm concerned about your sneezes. Oh! So, you know how Harold is streaming, yeah, but you know how Cyber has been doing these charity streams for the last 2 days? There's someone on here now that is currently still doing a stream for part of that charity. So... Hi, Silver. I'm just about to raid out, but it's lovely to see you. Hello. I'll give you a quick shout out before we do the thing. Mr. Maxwell, you'd like Silver. He plays the same game as you do. So yeah, this individual is doing a charity stream. They're a group of streamers from Wales that are collectively trying to raise money for like a children's charity for kids that are like really sick or potentially end of life. So far, I'm pretty sure they've raised about 13 grand. So they're doing pretty good. But I just, now I'm aware of it, I kind of want to show some support, you know what I mean? So, I'll go read Discoy. And he's currently streaming. I don't know what he's intending to stream, but right now, he is streaming golf with friends. I know, I'm sure you heard that and thought, ooh, fun. It might be, because it looks like marbles, to be honest. We can all just join it. So, hang on. It's not going to pop up with a clip because it hates me. So So we've got the two different types of raid message for subscriber or for follower. I will just copy it so I don't end up having to wait because I forgot to copy it. Right. So, lovely, lovely individuals that you are. Thank you very much for being here with me through this and tolerating my gameplay. Thank you very, very much for the raid and for all the bitties and for the resubs and the subs and all of that business. I appreciate you greatly. Pains in the bums and stop it and stuff, but I do appreciate you. I really do. Chaos, exactly. Thank you for the chaos. Oh, I need to press the start raid button. It does help, doesn't it? Pro streamer. I'll open a VC probably in about 10 to 15 minutes because I need to stand up and, like, you know, get a drink and stretch the legs and complain about being all crippled and stuff. So if anyone would like to join us, feel free. And I will load up wilds and have fun. I'm so excited. But yes, thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate you loads. If you can stick around, even just to say hello or not to say hello and just lurk for a little bit before you turn the thing off, that'll be great. But it's just basically I'm just trying to show support because I'm now aware that it's a whole donation thing. Yeah. Good talk. I appreciate you all. I really, really do. And thank you. And I'll see you all in stream chats and so on and so forth. I'll